Hello and welcome to my channel, the Irish Gypsy Psychic Tarot Reader. That's me, the Irish Gypsy. I'm going to be doing a general monthly forecast readings for each of the 12 zodiac signs for the month of November 2015. I will be using the Gilded Tarot deck as I love the vividness of the color and the detail of the imagery in these cards. I'll be pulling 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an additional card for the overall theme and general feeling of the month. These are general readings, so they may not apply or resonate deeply with everyone who watches them, although I hope everyone who sees them gains something pertinent from them. If they don't always resonate with you, you can check your rising and your moon sign videos as well, and hopefully that will give you further clarification. For those of you who are interested in something a little more in-depth, I do love to give personal readings to people. So you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. And for those of you who will be watching and listening and subscribing and commenting on my channel, your support and feedback are deeply appreciated and most welcome, so thank you for that. So let's get started. This video is for Aquarius for the month of November 2015. My apologies on the lateness of these videos. I've been dealing with moving, the holidays, and switching up my computer, so it has been a bit challenging keeping up. But December will be better. Now, I do shuffle my cards thoroughly before each and every reading, but I like to go through a last little bit of a shuffle while I'm actually recording with you. And I apologize ahead of time for any long pauses during the reading. It just means that I'm studying the cards to put together the feelings and impressions and messages I get while I'm reading. As those of you who read the cards know, sometimes it comes in quickly and clearly, and sometimes it takes a minute or two to put it all together for you. So Aquarius, what does the month of November 2015 hold for you? Aquarius, 2015. Aquarius, 2015. November, Aquarius, 2015. Okay. For the first week of November, we have the Eight of Wands, followed by the King of Cups. For the second week of November, we have the Empress, followed by the Five of Pentacles. For the third week of November, we have the Hierophant, followed by the Knight of Wands. And for the fourth week, we have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Pentacles. And for your overall theme or general feeling of the month, I pull a card from the very bottom of the deck, and you have the Magician. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see what the story is for you for November 2015. Now, as I'm sure you know, there's no clearly defined timeline of the cards for specific beginnings and specific endings. This reading represents the general situation and feelings and theme you're going to be facing in November, but this could be a situation that you run into at the end of October and going into a bit of the beginning of December as well. So let's get started. We begin with the Eight of Wands, followed by the King of Cups. Now, the Eight of Wands, wands being a suit that represents action, movement, change, power, activity, something very fast-moving. This card depicts 8 wands shooting down from the sky. It's too late to change their trajectory. Something is in motion, and something is coming quite quickly. There's a situation coming very quickly. Wands, the element, is representative of fire and air, which again represent movement, power, action, change, something very fast-moving. So it looks like you're coming into November, or as you're coming into November, there's a situation coming in quite quickly that's going to represent some kind of change in your life, some kind of fast-moving, uh, some kind of action, some kind of something, some situation is coming into your life and it's coming in rather quickly. And this card is accompanied by the King of Cups. Cups being a suit of cups, the element of cups being water, and cups symbolic of the suit represents emotion, love, relationships, things of that nature. Kings tend to be men who are, or women. This doesn't necessarily mean it's gender specific. If you're a woman, it could be a man. If you're a man, it could be a woman. This is a lovely person, actually. It's someone who's pretty well grounded in their emotions. They would tend to be a very nurturing, emotionally in touch sort of person, someone who's very loving, someone who's very nurturing, someone who cares very much. And kings tend to be um, men or women who are a little bit older, more mature, more reflective. Um, Kings are usually are people who have, through their experience in life, gained a fair amount of wisdom and rootedness. And the King of Cups is probably the most loving and nurturing of them all. So it looks like there's a situation coming, Aquarius, in the beginning of November or the end of October. Um, this person, this King of Cups, is going to be coming into your life. And this could be an actual water sign, although it doesn't necessarily have to be. A water sign would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or somebody else who represents or manifests the same traits as this King of Cups, whether or not they're a water sign or not. So it looks like there's a person going to be coming into your life that represents the King of Cups very quickly into your life in the month of November, Aquarius. In the second week of November, we have the Empress, followed by the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Empress is a beautiful card. It's sort of the Mother Earth card. It's a major arcana card. And it's representative of the words that go along with this are fertility, Earth Mother, abundance, nurturing. It can represent pregnancy. So there's a possibility, Aquarius, that this King of Cups person and you together might be creating more than just a little love this month. Um, and actually, the King of Cups, the Empress following the King of Cups, is telling me that this is usually actually, when you see the King of Cups together with the Empress, this actually signifies um, a really wonderful sort of union, a very loving, nurturing, fertile sort of union, connected on a very emotionally loving and spiritual level. Would be a match with this person coming into your life. If the Empress is representing you, the King of Cups is a superb match for you, and it's almost a soulmate sort of connection. Both together representing the potential for um, a life and a relationship together that's very deeply loving, very deeply rooted in nurturing and caring for each other. So what a beautiful sign that is, Aquarius. However, it is accompanied by the Five of Pentacles, which can seem a little confusing. Pentacles are typically the elements of Pentacles being earth. Pentacles typically representing tangible things in our world around us, like traditionally money, finances, resources, wealth, property, assets, things of that nature. But it can also represent the same traits in love as well. And I'm actually getting that for this reading. This looks like a relationship reading to me, which I wonder what's going on with planetary influences. I'm not an astrologer, and my knowledge of astrology is skimpy at best. But this reading actually just followed Gemini and Libra, and I got some very similar readings for them as well. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of planetary influences on air signs this month. So the Five of Pentacles typically represents, it can represent lack of something or fear of lack of something. It can also represent missing something that's right in front of you. And it shows a couple standing in front of a church or some kind of establishment like that. They're standing in front of the stained glass window, and there's a beautiful warm light shining on them, but they don't seem to be noticing it. They're still out in the element, out in the cold. And in other tarot decks, I've seen them depicted outside of the same kind of building, in the rain, in the snow. It's a card of lack or perceived lack, and also a card of missing something right in front of you. And if there's advice attached to this card, it would be actually about faith. I'm actually getting the feeling, Aquarius, that this person that's coming into your life rather suddenly or bringing some kind of sudden situation in your life, or someone perhaps that you've just gotten involved in a relationship with, or that you've been in, that you already are in an established relationship with, and they're bringing something to you that's causing you to feel either a sense of lack or a perceived sense of lack, or what I'm getting more is a fear of something, or something about this that you're not seeing clearly. There's some kind of, I feel there's some kind of offering being made by this King of Cups. There's something about this union, or something about the potential for this union that you're not seeing, I think, or that's causing you to have some kind of fear. Perhaps it is, and I'll show you why I think this in a minute. Perhaps this person is coming to you, perhaps you've been in a relationship with this person and for a while, and now he's suddenly bringing to you the promise or opportunity of taking your relationship to a more conventional level. And this is the fast-moving situation that's coming into this. You know, we're going into the holiday season, and a lot of proposals happen during the holiday season. And I say this because in the third week of November, or somewhere around the middle to the last part of November, we have the Hierophant, followed by the Knight of Wands. And I'm smiling, Aquarius, not because I'm making fun of the situation or of whatever fears or conflict you might be going through in this situation with this relationship, but I just get, in a way, even though there's this Five of Pentacles issue, it's coming across to me as such a lovely kind of reading, and it's I'm actually getting quite a warm, loving feeling while I'm looking at this. So in the third week, we have the Hierophant, followed by the Knight of Wands, as I said. Excuse my waving these around. I'm still learning how to hold these up correctly. It's a little like trying to navigate in the mirror. So the Hierophant is another major arcana card. And just a sideline, I like to think of the major arcana cards kind of as the fingers of God, or whatever your spiritual connection or foundation is, fingers of the divine. They represent typically whatever your representation of spirit or divine or God might be, coming into our lives and affecting changes that we are either unable or sometimes unwilling to change ourselves, therefore giving us the opportunity to change, or having the opportunity to look at ways of changing. Sometimes we don't necessarily always have control over how they come into our life because they are from the divine. But what we're left with is how to deal with it in order to affect positive change in our life. So we have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant depicts what looks like a priest in front of a church cathedral window. This is the church of the conventional. This is the church of our religion, institution, tradition, conventions, the status quo, and and it is accompanied by the Knight of Wands. Again, wands representing change, movement, action, power, fast moving, fire and air, fast moving. So it looks to me at least the reading I'm getting is quite clear so far, the story, which again, it's a general reading, so it will probably mean different things to different people. But what it looks like is happening is that somebody is coming to you, somebody that you've been dating or that you're in an established relationship with, and they're coming to you with some kind of marriage proposal, either an actual marriage proposal or wanting to move, excuse that, wanting to move the relationship up into the next level. Perhaps they're asking you to move in with them, or all of the above. And there's something about it that, and it's coming in very quickly. Perhaps you weren't expecting it, and perhaps you're a bit afraid of it. Maybe you're seeing it, and I'm getting a little bit of a tingle on this. You know, the Empress is, I was kind of describing her as the Earth Mother sort of thing. Perhaps this relationship that you've had has not been a conventional one, or it hasn't had the status quo conventional traits of living together or being married, and you've been pretty content with that. And your fear is that if you move into something more conventional, like living together, or if you get married, perhaps your fear is that that sort of level of commitment would take away from what you love most about the relationship right now. You could be on the other side of the equation of this relationship as well. You could be the one going to someone with a proposal of marriage or moving in together, moving the relationship up to a next level, and your partner is exhibiting the fear of this because someone's been comfortable with how the relationship is, and the idea of perhaps making it more established is causing some fear. And that fear, I believe, and I feel very strongly about this fear is based in, if I do that, well, you know what happens when most people get married, and what's the rate of divorce in this country, and if we move it into the next level, I'm afraid that the appreciation and gratitude and love and passion that we have will fade over time through doing things a more conventional route. And I think that it could also be for perhaps a small portion of you that you get pregnant and it's not something you were expecting. You're a little bit afraid of it, but you decide to just jump ahead and get married anyway because it's the right thing to do, the conventional thing to do. And all of this is happening very fast. There's an aura, a feeling that I'm getting of this is a fast moving, sudden situation. Things are happening quite fast. Things are going to be happening quite fast. The Knight of Wands with the Hierophant. The knights are usually the bringers of the tarot. When you think about the role of the knight in medieval times, they were the ones who were given a mission. They were sent on a quest, and they were very focused, very dedicated, almost fanatical, some of them, in completing this quest and bringing it back to the king or queen. Um, so I feel like this situation is happening quite quickly, and there's some fear about it. But the feeling that I get is that it's a good thing. It's actually a beautiful and loving sort of thing. Uh, at the end of the month, in the fourth week of November, we have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It's a 10, which represents the culmination of something, something coming to a complete, a cycle ending, something coming to complete fruition. It can represent the the end of something. I don't mean the end of the relationship, but the culmination of something, something finally coming full circle. And this is a card of abundance as well. It's the Ten of Pentacles. As you can see, the treasure box is overflowing and left in the grass as a gift for someone, perhaps to repay the universe or the divine for the gift of that single pentacle so long ago, and it has developed into this abundance. And uh, one of the definitions of this card that I feel is accurate here is, especially with the artwork in this card, is that this chest was left as a gift. So this, and I feel very strongly, Aquarius, that what's being presented to you, this offer of marriage or to move into the next level with this relationship is a real gift. It's a real beautiful gift, and it represents uh, a culmination and attainment in this relationship that's going to bring about a great deal of abundance, um, whether it's actual physical resources, if your partner is coming from a financially resourceful foundation, but it represents just abundance in this relationship. And it's accompanied by the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of assessing the harvest has come and you're looking at what has grown. You've planted the seeds. Here's the harvest. And seven being a number of reflection, assessment, gauging motives. It's looking at the crop you have, the crop that has grown, and asking yourself the question, has it been worth it? Has the end justified the means? Has what I put into this paid off? Has it all been worth it? Um, has everything, the seeds I planted, does what I put into it match? It looks like that's where you find yourself at the end of November, ascertaining whether this offer for this relationship to move to the next level or deepen somehow and gain more commitment and perhaps more of a conventional foundation and maybe perhaps following other traditions, if it's actually going to be worth it and if everything that you put into the relationship is going to pay off in the future of your relationship together. It's a beautiful sort of reading, in spite of the fact that there seems to be a bit of a thread of fear about deepening the commitment in this relationship. Um, Getting married, perhaps moving in together. If you're together and you're having a child, and it's also prompting moving into the next level. Of course, there's understandably some fear attached to that, but it looks really good to me, Aquarius. Now, the card that I pulled for your overall theme and general feeling of the month is the Magician. The Magician is the guy that's got it all going on. He has walked the path of study and practice and honing his craft, and now he has all the skills and knowledge at his fingertips and experience to utilize all the tools of his craft and to create whatever it is he desires, whatever situation, whether it's a problem or the creation of something. He knows how to deal with everything. He has all the skills. He has all the experience now. Um, it's kind of, and what this card is actually saying is that it's kind of, the outcome of this is kind of in your hands. You have everything that you need to walk this path, and even though there seems to be some fear perhaps about moving into this next level, about moving ahead on this path, it looks like the outcome is going to be has the potential to be quite lovely, but at the end of the day, the decision and the results are up to you. But this card is telling you to rely on the foundation that you already have, that you have, and that you know what to do, that everything's going to be okay. If you're becoming a parent for the first time and you understandably have fears about that, this card is saying, you got it. You've got it. You have everything that you need in order to be a great parent and to move ahead on this path. So Aquarius, what a lovely, absolutely lovely reading for the month of November. I'm so happy for you. I have such a happy feeling for you. Um, I can't wait to see how this journey continues with you in the next few months. Again, if this didn't apply or resonate with you very deeply, I suggest you also check your rising and your moon signs to see if perhaps those maybe resonate a little more closely with you. And again, if you'd like a personal reading with me, you can email me at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, which will give you that information and a little more detail about the services I offer and my background. And again, congratulations on a lovely reading. I hope you enjoy the month of November and that you have a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that holiday. I will see you in December, and as always, I wish you blessings and a happy life.